Hello guys, welcome to another episode the the Diva Universe. So today we're gonna talk about de che lo vamos a hablar dell'italiano mi amor. A ver, so yo tenía, ¿sabe usted, like you guys? So I am working for different luxury brands, high-end luxury brands, as sales stylist, visual merchandising manager, stuff like that. And I come in contact with a lot of people. I make different colleagues at different locations, which is kind of cool because the conversation is so different, right? And I want to share, like, yo estaba hablando, girl, I was talking with this guy. Perfect. And we all are going to be facing different quote-unquote challenges, hard things, difficulties, traumas, experiences that are not always going to be peaches and cream, you know? Rainbow and sunshine, baby. So one of the mindsets that I have applied is, it's a mindset, but until you apply it, it becomes a concept. But this is a concept very hard to apply because when you're going through it, you're going through it. And it's very hard to have this, to apply this mindset when you're going through it, because the emotions are overriding everything. So the mindset is whatever you go through, you get through. And it's not only that, but it's knowing that whatever difficulties, whatever challenges, whatever emotional fear that you're going through is always going to be for your highest benefit, for your highest good. It is always going to be in your favor. There is always going to be something in there for you where there's going to be gold. Like, you never go through a suffering just to go through it. Like, it cannot be for nothing. And you may feel what you feel in the moment and be a victim, but you cannot let that define you. Let that become your identity. And so he was telling me, you know, that he was going through a few very rough weeks, whatever, and with this girl that he's dating and stuff. And you know, I was telling him that he's gonna get through this, and he was telling me, like, it's so hard to believe that or to know that when you're going through that. And it is true, it is hard. You're gonna choose to let the circumstance make you a victim. You're gonna choose to let that circumstance stop you from keep going, from continuing. You're gonna let that affect your life so much. If it's affecting your life so much, it's because at the end of the day, there has to be something so good by the end of the circumstance, by the end of the situation. And that is why we have the privilege of experiencing time and going through things and quote-unquote suffering. Because if everything was perfect and we was not experiencing anything, then what, like, imagine a life when you're not experiencing anything. You're dead. Now, I have a fucking amazing theory of like, I had a fucking download that in a futuristic future, we are gonna be like just conscious. So it's like we transcended the human revolution and now we enter the conscious age where we're just conscious. And it's like different networks, and like we're traveling to the networks, and now we are experiencing life just as conscious. And in that conscious, like all of the things that we've experienced as humans, like making love, creating art, like all of these emotions, now it's like conscious. Like you don't need a body or to be incarnated in a body to feel that, because now you're just incarnated as conscious, and you're like living that being quote unquote human as a conscious consciousness, just being conscious. Like you don't have like the flesh of the body, you're just like the soul. I'm not sure if this is making any sense, but it's like something that I'm now working on, because I did a research in transhumanism like a year ago, and I've just received that, and I was like, oh my god. I immediately linked it with transhumanism. I even did a video because it was a project for a school. Oh my god. And that is how I got into, like, we created these visuals and stuff, but on the back end I was like reading about consciousness. Like I was doing research in anthropology, consciousness, and you know, and all these things, because if you know, like the occult and stuff, because you know the occult practice all these things, and it's like it's like spiritual warfare and stuff, baby. But oh my god, I just went into that. Yeah, but actually what I wanted to share that with you guys is about that mindset of that whatever you get through, whatever you go through, you're getting through. And maybe you may be in that storm of whatever circumstance, whatever situation, emotional, going through a divorce, losing a parent, losing your child, losing your job, losing your friends, losing your family, like whatever it is that you're losing, going through a breakup, going through a disappointment, a betrayal, like those be hurting so much, you know, all of that. But you get to experience and go through all of that because what comes from it is greater than the suffering, the disappointment, the cry, the fallback, the lessons, the quote-unquote mistakes, all of it. But in order to apply this mindset and to make it a concept, like a applicable thing, is that when you're going through that, remember that there is no suffering in vain. There is always something in benefit of whatever experience you're having in that moment, because that experience is designed for you. Even if that experience in the moment may seem like a mistake, because whatever mistake you make will always put you in the path that you're designed to be. Like, no, imagine that no wrong decision that you ever made, no decision was ever wrong or right. It was just a decision, because whatever pathway you would choose, it would always lead you to the same end goal. When you think about it like that, trust me, whatever comes your way, when you start applying that every time you're going through a depression, you're going through a phase, you're going through loss, you're mourning, you're crying, you're losing people, whatever, because life can be lifing, baby. Let's be fucking for real. Remember that. Because honestly, like, in my mind, but not in my mind. This is just my truth. I'm always taken care of by God, baby. So I love it. That's the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.